Hi, welcome to this edition of Country Cooking. Today I have a special guest, Kay Vandervorst. Most of you know her from Valley. I've twisted her arm, told her I was going to beat her up if she didn't come do a show. She's decided she would, and what we're doing today is appetizer type stuff, so you can use it for New Year's Eve party or Super Bowl Sunday, and as of course you can see we got jerseys on, so we're kind of aiming towards the Super Bowl party here. So I'm going to let Kay go ahead and start with what she's going to do, and I'm going to be her helper, so she's going to be telling me what she needs help with. So welcome, Kay.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start out with pepperoni bread. This is a recipe that my kids just love. I don't make it probably as often as they'd like me to. So what we've done is we have 2 loaves of bread, which are thawed. You don't have to let them rise, but you know, it's okay because we're going to roll them out, and then we'll be able to roll them up and you'll have pepperoni bread. So to get started with that, we're first going to make kind of a sauce that goes on the inside. And one thing I've learned is you don't want to beat it too much because it'll be like scrambled eggs in the middle, and that's kind of weird. So we're just going to add 2 eggs. Thanks, Mary.
If you guys get the Valley newsletter, you see Kay's recipes in there a lot. That's why I asked her to help out today.
That's because nobody sends me any, and I'm always the last resort. Okay, we are now going to add 1 teaspoon of oregano.
Teaspoons out, sorry.
And a dash of garlic powder. And you can increase this if you tend to like garlic. My family does not, so I just usually go with the dash. And we are going to just beat this up a little bit. Not to scrambled egg consistency again, just so it's mixed kind of well. And this is just going to help the cheese and the pepperoni on the inside of the bread kind of stay put. Okay, so we're ready to roll out the dough. So here's 1 loaf. I would take a piece of saran wrap though, I think.
Okay. Press and seal work?
Yep.
Big enough?
Yep. Okay. Maybe. So we're just gonna roll the dough. Try to get it as flat as you can. It makes it a lot easier to roll up. It doesn't have to be a perfect square either.
That's a trick I've never used before, with saran wrap over the dough.
Really?
Yeah, I learned something new today.
Well, we'll see if it comes off.
We even have an audience here today, which is unusual. Don't you hear them applauding? They all knew Kay was coming to visit me.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we're going to get this kind of in a rectangle shape. So when you roll it, it kind of matches. It's a little bit even. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now we'll see if the press and seal actually comes off. It does!
Cool.
Okay, so this will be our first loaf. Should I just set this down?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. So we're going to just use a little brush here and brush just a little bit of this on over the whole piece of dough. The recipe actually makes 2 loaves, so I'm going to just use some here so we have enough for the other loaf as well. Okay, and we are now going to sprinkle some pepperoni on. Again, no scientific method. You don't have to have a certain number. It's kind of
I guess I could help peel these.
spread them over the top of the dough. Thank you.
A few more?
A few more. There. And we are now going to sprinkle the cheese on. Is this on the bag?
Yeah, other than Mexican. Do you want Mexican?
No, this will be fine.
I
just
have
want to make
mozzarella
sure.
in the fridge.
No, this will work.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I don't use more than, so we have enough for both loaves. And you can use any type of cheese. I usually try to do the Marble Jack, or sometimes I will use the mozzarella. Finely shredded cheddar even works as well too. So now you have your somewhat square pizza roll. And if one end is a little bit narrower, I usually try to roll that end first so that it rolls into the larger end. It'll actually set up a little bit better that way. So we are now going to grab the edges. And we are going to just roll it like a jelly roll. You can kind of stretch it a little bit as you roll it. Want to bake it on this pan? Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. When you get to the end, kind of just pinch the bottom side shut. And we now have one of our rolls done. We are also, actually, do you have a fork?
I do.
Okay, I'm just gonna prick it a little bit all the way around the sides. That helps it. Sometimes when dough rises, it'll rise unevenly and you'll get like the air bubbles. So if you do the little pricking on it, it seems to help that. So you don't end up with one big end and one small end. And you wanna kind of squeeze the ends shut too so your filling doesn't fall out as it bakes. So once we have that done, we're gonna take the egg mixture again, and we're just going to brush it over the top. That helps it to brown really nice and kind of gives it a shiny look too. So there's one roll. We will do the next one. Do you want to do the next one?
I can. Should I just let this set here until
Yeah, that's fine. We can put them both in at the same time. Yep.
Okay, we'll see if I can do this as well as Kay did. Move that or I'll hit the mixture on the floor.
I'll hold this. My rolling pin is too big for my jelly roll pan, so I always have to use a flat cookie sheet. But this works pretty slick, as long as your rolling pin fits. I like your rolling pin. You better keep an eye on that when we leave.
I like my rolling pin too. I would come find you if you took it. These are so much, the marble ones are so much nicer than the wooden ones that grandmas and them used to have, because I always had a problem with the dough sticking on the wooden ones, and this here is just awesome. So how's that look?
Perfect.
I think I'll start from the other end like you did.
Yep, I think once you get it started, it'll peel right off. And I guess maybe that's why I've always used saran or something on top, because it sticks to the wooden rolling pin.
Okay, we got that part done. Now we put our mixture on.
Yep. The first time my sister-in-law made this recipe, she mixed the eggs a little bit too much. So when she took it out of the oven and she sliced it, it was like dough with scrambled eggs and pepperoni in the middle. So I was trying to make a point. Don't mix it completely so it's frothy like you would with scrambled eggs.
Does that look good?
Perfect.
All right. Now pepperoni.
Yep.
Mine's not going to be as white as yours, I don't think.
It doesn't matter. just like in the pizza shop.
Yeah, maybe we can get jobs on the side, huh?
Sure, because we don't have enough to do.
Right. I don't have kids in school like Kay does. She's got 3 active kids, and they are all in the sports. So she's on the go when she's not at work.
Football mom, basketball mom, baseball mom, golf mom, and coach's wife, all in one. So we do a lot of sports parties and a lot of appetizer type things at our house. Of course, the kids all have their favorite.
My ring's getting stuck.
Did you want me to hold it for you?
No, because you'll take my ring too. I see yours.
Oh, okay.
You can have mine if I can have yours. We'll swap for a while.
Okay.
See what our husbands say.
They would never notice.
Probably not. Is that good?
Yeah, you can actually, if you want to dump the rest on,
Okay.
use that up. That'll be perfect. Excellent.
All right. I don't roll it quite as fast as she does.
If you pull a little bit as you roll, it'll seem like it gets a little bit easier, actually. Then it seems like all your pepperoni and cheese doesn't kind of get connected in one spot either.
Mine's coming.
It's
funny.
okay. You can tuck the ends under. Perfect.
Get in there.
Yep, that'll work. Maybe just squeeze that little spot down there too. Anytime you see a little opening. And when it cooks, I mean, we might be surprised when we take it out. Sometimes when it bakes, it kind of pops out in different places too, but it still tastes the same. The recipe actually says that you can use toothpicks to secure it. I used to do that until somebody bit into a toothpick one time, so now I try not to do that. Perfect. Do that.
Oh, right. Good thing you reminded me.
And again, that's just going to prevent the air bubbles from popping up and making it look funny.
Good enough?
Perfect.
Pinch that a bit. Do you do this all the way down the sides?
All the way around on the sides too. It'll just help give it that nice golden color and make it kind of shiny.
There.
Perfect.
All right.
So that is the pepperoni bread. We are going to bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes. So we'll get that going and then we can get started on our next recipe.
We'll be right back.
Get a tablet computer for free. Sign up for Valley's high-speed internet and get an HP Slate tablet computer free. Plus, get free installation on your high-speed internet service. If you are an existing customer, upgrade to our 15 meg download, 5 meg upload speed, and get the same HP Slate tablet computer for free. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to get signed up for this great offer.
Okay, we're gonna go on. Okay, Kay. We're gonna go on and we're gonna make the next one that Kay's.
I've never heard that before, you know.
Okay, Kay. We're gonna do the next recipe that Kay brought out, and it is
It's a 7-layer taco dip. Sometimes give or take a few of the layers depending on what I have on hand. This is one that I get requests for all the time. I don't know how many times I've given out this recipe. It's easy, it's quick. So if you know you have to be somewhere and you need to come up with something in a hurry, it's really good for that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take 1 jar of paste picante sauce. You can use the hot, the mild, depending on how you'd like, how hot you'd like your dip to be.
when I bought the ingredients, she didn't tell me which one to pick, so I picked the one that I would take as the mild because sometimes it seems pretty hot.
Yep. That's what I would have picked.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Okay.
oh, it's all good. We're gonna add 2 cans of refried beans. Okay, that's 1. Okay, and then we are going to just stir this up. You want to kind of get rid of the big chunks of beans. You want it to be more of just a, I'm going to say a juicy mixture, but more of a well-mixed layer. You'll be able to tell when it starts to get a little soupier that you've got it mixed pretty well. So in sticking with our theme, we are going to go ahead and use one of my many football trays. And we're just going to pour this in. And spread it across the bottom.
With that?
Yep. You can also use a jelly roll type pan, cake pan, any type of serving dish that has a lip on it. You want to make sure it has at least a 1-inch lip so that your fillings don't run over the sides. Okay, so that is our bean and picante sauce layer. The next layer, we are going to add 1 container of sour cream.
That's a big one. They didn't have the 12 ounce.
Okay, 16 ounce works too. That's
Okay.
fine. The recipe actually calls for a 12 ounce, but we can make this work. Sometimes it's actually better to have a little bit more because then you can spread it across the beans easier. And we are going to add 1 package of taco seasoning. And we're going to mix this well. If you use a bigger container of sour cream, like the 16 ounce that we just used, then it's not quite as spicy either because you're including the seasoning in a larger amount of sour cream. Okay, so when you have that mixed well, it's going to have kind of the orange tint to it. We are now going to, and this is just the way I do it, you can do it however you'd like, but this seems to work the best for me. So I just put little dollops of it across the top layer, or the bottom layer, excuse me. Kind of even. What we're going to try to do is spread it out.
So you want a better spatula? Like
Nope, I'm going to use a knife actually.
Oh, okay.
So, when you have that done, it's going to look kind of like this. You can use a knife or a spreader, spatula, whatever you're used to using for stuff like this. And you just want to spread a thin layer across the top. Trying to get to the outside edges somewhat.
Wipe that up so you don't put your hand in it.
Thanks. There's no exact science to this either. First time I ever made this, I dumped it all in the middle and didn't have enough to go to the sides.
Maybe you want to try doing it Kay's way. I know I will.
So,
Looks like it would serve a lot of people.
it does. You know, we use this for Super Bowl parties. We use this at Christmas. I bring it to the office quite a bit. When we have get-togethers at our house, it's so easy to make and it's quick. And people like it. It's gone, usually. So you just have a thin layer of that on top. Again, doesn't need to be perfect. That's what that's going to look like. We are then going to add a layer of lettuce.
You want scissors? I guess not.
And we're just going to sprinkle this over the top.
The whole bag?
Normally I would, but I want to save a little bit for one of the recipes we're doing later,
Okay.
just for a little bit of garnish on it. So, have your lettuce spread out, about the same thickness all the way around. It's going to look like that. And we are going to add cheese. Again, you can use whatever kind of cheese you like. Happens to be the shredded Mexican. You can use regular cheddar. You can use the Monterey Jack. I've never used mozzarella. The fine shredded, like this is, seems to work better. I think the bigger chunks of cheese are a little bit harder to scoop up with chips and that type of stuff. And we are going to use the whole bag of this, so we can be quite liberal as we spread it on. So we're up to 4 layers right now. Now for decoration on top, or I guess kind of making it look pretty would be the word to say.
Do you need more tomato than
No,
that?
that's going to be fine. We're going to add just a few chopped tomatoes. You could use any or any toppings that you would normally use on tacos. I've added jalapenos, sliced jalapenos before. Of course, it adds a little bite to it, but they look nice on top too.
Well, I don't have any of those, so you'll
That's
have to
fine.
go without today.
That's optional. Okay, I think we got most of those. And then we are going to also add a can of sliced olives, which Mary had pre-sliced for me. You can buy the cans of sliced olives, but you get half the size
for twice the amount.
Twice the price. So I generally just go with a can and slice them myself. This is something I can even have my kids do while I'm working on the rest of it. And again, we're just going to sprinkle these across the top. People don't like olives, they're big enough where they can pick them out.
Am I missing something else?
Nope. That's it.
Other than the chips.
Yep.
And I do have the chips.
So, spread the olives kind of evenly across the top. And this is, well, I guess in our case, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layer dip instead of 7 layer dip.
What did I forget? Oh, the jalapenos.
The jalapenos would be the last portion, and I normally don't put those on, but if I happen to have some on hand, that is something that you could add as well.
Okay.
So, party taco dip. Serve it with chips.
Whatever you like for chips is what you can use in this. We'll just put this all off to the side because we need to check our bread.
Don't want to miss out on your favorite shows while you're gone? Get DVR service from Valley and never miss another show again. You can also watch your favorite shows on over 70 channels in our lineup in crystal clear high definition. Sign up now and get 3 months free and free installation on HD and DVR. Call Valley today at 437-2615. You don't want to miss this offer.
Okay, so our next recipe for today is BLT dip. This one I kind of came across by accident. I bought this cute little football serving bowl and it had this recipe on the side, so I've added a few things and doctored it up a little bit to make it how my family likes it. Again, this is something fairly easy you could do if you have a few basic ingredients on hand. We started with 8 ounces of cream cheese, which we've already softened, and so we have that in our bowl here. We are going to add 1 tablespoon of mayo. Again, not the Miracle Whip. We want to make sure we use the mayo for this one, because you can tell the difference. I tried to cheat one time and it turn out as well. So we're going to add the 1 tablespoon of mayo. We are also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. I'm just going to use a 1 teaspoon and kind of just add about half of it there. And so we are going to stir our cream cheese, our mayo, our garlic salt until we have a nice smooth consistency. Basically what you want is that you don't have any big chunks of cream cheese that people would bite into, because you want it to be kind of well blended. If you use a mixer on this one, it's going to get too runny, so you probably want to just stick to a nice spoon.
I was gonna say, haven't you noticed how all Kay's recipes so far don't have the noise of the mixers and stuff, which is awesome.
I'm all about easy.
I was thinking all about quiet.
Oh, maybe that too. We are then going to add 8 slices of crisp bacon, and I'm just going to cut this. It says to crumble it, but I have better luck when I just cut it into small pieces. Thank you.
More dishes for the dishwasher. And I'm talking the machine type
Oh,
one,
I
not
was going to say,
person.
is that me?
No.
You make your dishes messy and then I have to wash them.
No.
Okay.
Do you have any other ones in there? This recipe smells so good.
It actually will taste just like a BLT sandwich. It can be served with either crackers or cocktail bread. The other thing that I've used is the beer bread mix that you can just buy. And when you spread this on there, it is so good. So it's another option. Okay, so this seems like a lot of bacon, but it's more of a chunky type dip, so we don't need it to blend in real well. So we have our 8 slices of bacon, which I am now going to add. And also we are adding some chopped tomatoes. It calls for 1 regular size larger tomato. We used 3 smaller ones that Mary chopped for me. So we are going to add those. It's okay if you get a little bit of the juice in there. It'll make it easier to stir. I might need a bigger spoon.
A bigger spoon? You want like a tablespoon?
I think so.
Oh, that just looks so good. She's just trying to see how many dishes she can do. Because I told her she didn't have to do dishes.
It's like when I'm done cooking at home, it's like, oh, now I have to do the dishes.
I don't mind doing dishes.
Okay, so we have everything pretty well mixed. It's going to take on a little bit of a pink tint to it, and that's perfectly fine. I think what we'll do is we'll chill this a little bit while we're working on our last and final one, and then we'll add it to our little bowl and get it all ready for presentation, I guess.
My upcoming surgery is what prompted me to purchase this personal safety device. It gave me peace of mind to know that if something happened, help was just the push of a button away. Now it gives me a sense of comfort and security because I live alone. I chose Valley because it is a valuable service provided by a hometown business.
Sign up now and receive half off of the installation fee plus $10 in Valley Bucks. Call Valley today at 437-2615 for more details.
The last recipe we're going to do today is kind of for fun. It's strawberry footballs. Of course, when you have all your little snacks, you want to have a sweet treat at the end, and not everything sweet goes very well with cocktails, which generally go with your football type food. So we're going to do some strawberry footballs. You have a choice. You can use almond bark candy coating, or sometimes you can buy the Wilton product, the little melting chips. They're in a small bag. Those work just fine too. So we're first going to just open our chocolate here.
Oh, that's pretty.
You can use dark chocolate, which I think would be very good with the strawberries too if you don't want it quite as sweet, or you can go with the milk chocolate. And we're just gonna break these into pieces, maybe.
Want some help?
Sure.
That's why I always cut them.
I see. I've never cut them, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna microwave this probably about 45 seconds, give it a stir. And that'll be our coating for the strawberries. These are already washed and dried. You wanna make sure that they don't have a lot of moisture on them because the candy coating is not gonna stick very well if they're really damp. Okay, so we are making our football strawberries. We have melted the chocolate candy coating, and it's just a nice creamy consistency. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little strawberries. I might have to have you hold this at a little bit of an angle for me here. And I usually just grab them by the green part. You wanna leave that on. And you're just going to rotate them in the chocolate until they're coated. Oop, missed a little spot on that side. Drip your excess off, and we're going to set them onto a sheet of wax paper and let that set up. With the strawberries, it's important to make sure that they are not real wet. You don't want to have a lot of moisture on them because the candy coating is not going to stick well to that. So again, we're just going to rotate them in the chocolate.
I love chocolate covered strawberries. Oh, that is a weakness of mine.
I kind of, I think my favorite are probably the dark chocolate ones, simply because it's a little bit more bitter, so you have the sweetness and the bitter together. But that would involve planning ahead and getting dark chocolate, little melty things.
Next time.
Okay.
Most of our ingredients you can get at your local grocery stores, whether it's Hosmer, Bottle, Eureka, Harriet. Yeah, so most of the stuff I got in town this week, so we're good to go.
Usually, that's why I kind of try to pick simple recipes, because it seems like if you get more complicated and it's something that's not a real big seller in some of our smaller stores, it's not something they're going to readily have on hand. So I think I've kind of just learned over the years that you pick simple things that you know you're going to be able to pick up locally, which of course is important too, to support our local businesses.
Yep. Now I know all you people are watching this and thinking, okay, we're going to wherever Kay Vanderborst is going to be for Super Bowl Sunday, because we know what she's fixing.
The last 2 years I spent the day home sick. Earlier this fall, for opening of the NFL season, I had made these, and the strawberries I had bought were just huge. And so I was dipping them, and I look at my chocolate, and I hardly have any chocolate left because it took so much to cover these huge strawberries. They were really big footballs. I asked my husband, I said, do you think I need to explain that they're footballs? He goes, no, they look like footballs. I said, okay.
As big as they were, huh?
Yeah.
Get 3 months free of cellular voice service. Plus, get a great new phone at a discounted price and receive discounts on your other Valley services too. Call Valley today at 437-2615 or stop by our office for your free bill comparison.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, so we've let our strawberries, we've let the chocolate harden. We are now going to paint the laces on our strawberries. We're using white candy coating. You can use a pastry bag if you're comfortable, even a Ziploc bag with a corner cut off. I tend to like my little Wilton bottle here the best. I think I have more control when I'm using that. Okay, so we are filling my little decorating bottle here with this white candy coating. It does work better if you have a funnel, which I neglected to bring with today, so we're gonna just scoop it this way.
And I can't find mine.
It's okay, it's all good. Okay, so we'll just call that good. I'm gonna kind of clean up my mess here. And just a note that I learned this morning or last night when I was looking for my bottle is that if you finish, you might want to empty it right away, because if you don't, the chocolate will harden and it will be really difficult to take out later. we're just going to shake the chocolate down into the bottom. And we are going to paint our little laces on the footballs. Oops, a little drip on that one. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just make it kind of look like a football and they'll figure out what it is. Sometimes I tend to touch them up a little bit afterwards with a toothpick to kind of get my little drips and drops.
You can tell Kay likes to do tedious things.
Depends on the day. I suppose if you wanted to, you could change out the color of the laces. You could do colors of your favorite teams that are playing for that particular game, maybe.
Yeah, the Wilton makes all kinds of different color candy melts now. You can go lime green for Halloween and orange and black and dark purple, and I don't know if they have navy blue for the Cowboys or not, so Lance might have to go ahead and try the purple.
Well, the way the Cowboys are playing, so far I'm not so sure that's a bad thing.
That works a little better to hold them.
I think so too. Whoops.
I can start to loosen them for you.
Yep. The bigger beads of chocolate you put on, actually the better it looks, I think, in my opinion. So, I want to fix some of my blobs. You sure can.
How about if I try the laces once and you fix blobs?
Sure.
I'll do the fun part for a minute, let her do the tedious.
I'm just going to touch this up a little bit. Some of these the chocolate's already hardening on, which is fine. If you have a little portion that's kind of hanging off, you can just take a toothpick and knock that little bit off so it doesn't quite stick out as so much. It looks a little bit neater that way. Again, nobody would probably notice that except people who are used to working with futzy things like Mary and I.
And really, people, anybody watching this, have fun with it. Don't make it like it's a job. Just try our recipes and have fun. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out, nobody's going to know but you. Well, maybe Kay.
Nah. Again, I seem to have an overabundance of actually sports-themed servingware. So we'll just kind of line these up on here. I tried to be real clever the last time and line them up facing each other like they were actually little people. But nobody seemed to get my humor on that one.
This one looks like a mouse. It's got a little tail.
Oh, let's take the tail off. There we go.
There. Cute.
Perfect. So this could be your dessert for your big game. It could be just a snack type thing for the big game.
Fun.
So here are our little football people, or football covered strawberries.
Those are even, I mean, even the plate really makes it look like it is an actual football team. How many guys are on a team?
9.
Oh.
Well, in 9-man, in normal NFL football, there'd be 11 on each team.
Oh, well, we're either 6 or 2 short. So anyway, it's cute with the way it's all set up. So.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage. Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, so we refrigerated our BLT dip a little bit, just to give it a little bit of better consistency. It's a little bit easier to work with. It's the tomato with the bacon. And generally what I do, if I have head lettuce at home, I'll take this will work. We'll just take a little bit of shredded lettuce to put around the edges. So it kind of gives us the look of our BLT. Oops. And we are going to just take this and scoop this in. This dip bowl is a little bit small for what this recipe makes, but I think we'll be fine.
Okay, you fill the bowl up and share that with your friends and then you eat the rest yourself?
That would work too. I have my little spreader here, so we're just going to stick that in like that, and that is the BLT dip, which you would serve with crackers or little cocktail breads.
We'll get ready to put all this together so you can see the whole finished project. We'll be right back. Okay, well, we've done our appetizer episode for country cooking. I really want to thank Kay for coming and doing all the work. It was fun to kind of stand here and be her helper and watch everything, and she did such a wonderful job on it all. And I'm going to let her go back through it again and tell you exactly what they all are. And you can get all of her recipes off of Valley's homepage.
Okay, valleytel.net/country cooking, or through the video page. We have a link set up there as well. So we started out with our pepperoni bread, simply using bread dough, frozen bread dough thawed. We added the egg mixture, the pepperoni, and the cheese in the middle. You can serve this with pizza sauce on the side. So that was our first recipe today. We then moved to the taco dip. Normally called 7-layer, in our case it was called 6-layer. It had the refried bean mixture on the bottom with the sour cream and taco seasoning mixture, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, and olives, and I did add a few little festive football picks here for the occasion. We also made, and that can be served with chips, either the tostado chips, Doritos, whatever on that one. And we also made BLT dip today. It's basically made with cream cheese, a little bit of mayonnaise, some seasoning, and chopped bacon and tomatoes served on a bed of lettuce, and that can be served with crackers or also with cocktail bread. And to finish everything up, we finished with our strawberry footballs today, coated in chocolate candy coating and trimmed with the white coating. So here it is.
Okay, well, thanks Kay for coming and being a guest on the show. We will see you guys next time. Take care.